In our tiny little village down a tiny little alley sits a tiny little shop that's making, ironically, a big splash in the world of tiny art. D. Thomas Fine Miniatures, located in the Movie House Muse on Warburton Avenue, is part craft shop and part art gallery, and packing an enormous punch when it comes to the wow factor. And we're fortunate enough to have the owner, Darren Scala, with us in the studio tonight. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So you're coming up on a year anniversary, right?
Yes, at the end of November it'll be a year, so I'm in my 11th month. It's like having a baby, 11 months,
that's
not
right.
quite a year.
Tell me how the first year has gone in town.
You know, it's meeting every single one of my expectations. I've been very warmly received by the town. It's been really, really great working with the village and setting it up. And so far the media attention has been pretty good. And so, you know, people are coming through the door. People are experiencing Fine Miniatures in a brand new way. And I'm very happy with the way things are going.
So for people who haven't come in the door and have seen firsthand the whole world of miniatures, describe for everybody what miniatures are.
Well, miniatures is a very broad category, but in the miniatures world that I play in is all about 1 inch equals 1 foot. So anything you might find in the real life at 5 feet high would be 5 inches tall in the miniatures world. And so, and there are different scales that people play in. 1/6, the 1/24, half scale, Barbie scale, doll scale. It runs the gamut in terms of scale. But if you walk into my shop, you'll see mostly 1/12 scale. Furniture, accessories, almost any category you can find.
Right. So a 12 to 1, a foot is an inch.
Foot is an inch, correct, exactly.
And give me a sense for what's out on display.
Well, like I said, it runs the gamut in terms of the categories. I have fine pottery. I have 1/12 scale pottery. I have beautiful Reiku Japanese pottery that is less than an inch high. I have other ceramics. I have oil paintings that have been...
Do you find that the biggest misconception with people is that somehow these are toys that children would be interested in, or...?
Absolutely, and I created the space specifically to address that exact feeling that people might have out there. And miniatures at the end of the day mean a lot of different things to different people. You know, to children they mean dollhouses. To adults, to collectors, to hobbyists, they could be considered fine art. It depends on how they're made, how they're crafted, who's making them, what period of time they're being made in. So, you know, I opened the space to sort of show people that miniatures could be fine art, and show it in a way that no one has ever really been showing them before, in an environment that's that I believe is beautiful, and showing them in the light that they I believe they deserve to be.
So I imagine there's a pretty healthy miniatures collector community out there.
It's a small community, as you can imagine. It is pretty niche. It is a pretty niche market. My objective at the end of the day really is to expose as many people to the industry as possible, to get them engaged and activated. It's my belief that it's small. It's a small industry because there's a lack of awareness, and so I built the shop, I built the space to really create an awareness around these fine miniatures.
So you have a very significant piece on display right now. It is a miniature replica of the set of Rear Window.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I met an amazing artist, author, educator. Her name is Louise Krasnowitz out of Philadelphia. She's actually a professor of anthropology at UPenn. She's an author. She's a craftsperson. She's a self-professed geek, but loves miniatures and loves film. So she combined these two pieces together to create this piece, actually for the Philadelphia Flower Show, which is one of the more significant shows on the East Coast. And it was originally entered in and won and Best in Show. So I met her, I saw her piece, and I fell in love with her, I fell in love with the piece, and I felt like I really just needed to bring it into the space at D. Thomas Fine Miniatures, into the gallery. It's the perfect example and perfect way of bringing people into miniatures in a different way. And so...
Is that piece for sale?
It is not for sale right now.
Really?
She has gotten offers on it, but it's not for sale right now.
Can you give me an idea of like what ballpark those offers are in?
I
Like,
really can't. I'm not privy to
okay,
that.
so you showed us a pair of high heel shoes.
Yes, yes.
Give me an idea of what those shoes go for.
Well, okay. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it depends on the artist, it depends on the piece, it depends on where it's made, it depends on what it's made of. These leather shoes that I have actually for sale in my shop are in the $70 to $80 range.
Right.
These are individually made by a craftsperson in Italy, and I think I showed you, I mean, they have red platform bottoms. They're made of leather. They're absolutely beautiful.
They look like little tiny Manila Blahniks.
They absolutely do. And what I do is, how I promote them is I say I do to the shoes. And so I encourage people to see miniatures in a different way, encourage them to bring them into their lives in some way, and to appreciate, enjoy miniatures however they can.
So do you see a lot of different practical, maybe not practical uses, but do people use these miniatures in different ways or display them in different places? Or I'm just curious, like, what people do with them.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I look at the three different types of sort of consumers of miniatures. There's the hobbyist. That's the person that just simply likes to play and make miniatures, or like to create miniatures. There are those who like to collect, and those are the ones that just love to acquire fine miniatures and have them as decorative pieces of art in their homes, displayed in their homes, displayed in their offices. And then there are the enthusiasts, and those are the ones who might not necessarily want to acquire or learn how, but just love to go out and look at miniatures. And that's why I created the gallery space at D. Thomas Fine Miniatures, was really in an effort to get those enthusiasts in the hopes that they would ultimately become either hobbyists or collectors.
Do you find it can be a little addictive with people?
Absolutely. There's something very, very seductive about miniatures that I find when people come in and see them. There's something that triggers them, whether they might have grown up with a dollhouse, had one, never had one, or so there's something that is a trigger that gets them activated and engaged.
Right. So you have some very special piece on sale right now. What is it?
Oh my goodness, I have many special things on sale right now. I don't know. Were you thinking about something specific?
Well, maybe you could tell us what you think the
Oh
most
my
special
gosh.
piece on sale right now is.
I couldn't even describe. I have an all hardwood 1/12 scale harpsichord, circa 1770, that was made by an artisan in the 1970s, Don, who was an incredible IGMA artisan, which is the International Guild of Miniature Artisans. And they have designated her with an artisan credential, and she made this absolutely beautiful harpsichord in miniature that I have, and I don't know how I'm going to part with it when that person comes to take it away, but it is one of the more special pieces that I have in the shop right now.
Great.
But
Well,
yeah.
I definitely have to swing by. I haven't been yet, but now you have totally piqued my interest.
Yeah, I mean,
wanna
it's
come by and
something to
see it.
see. Like I said, it triggers something in, no matter who you are, no matter where you play from. There is something that touches your heart when you see these things. And like I said, there are different ways to sort of bring them into your lives, whether you just like to just go out and look at them.
So you're the last shop on the Muse.
I am the last shop in the Muse,
Okay.
in the Movie House Muse, which is a historic
Right.
movie theater, and I'm actually in the back space where the movie screen used to be.
Okay.
And so I enjoy, you know, I am fortunate to have that height in the space, which really focuses and helps sort of showcase the product the right way.
Right, terrific.
Yeah.
Well, Darren, thank you very much for coming by and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll be back with more of The Current in a moment.